The secret of the single dad who washed dishes. Papa, why are you washing dishes? You're a chef. 8-year-old Oliver watched his father through the restaurant kitchen window. Laurent stood there, hands covered in soap, head bowed, unable to answer. Because 3 years ago, Laurent Dubois was the world's youngest 3 Michelin-starred chef in Paris. Famous, wealthy, successful. Now he washed dishes at a New York restaurant. Nobody knew. The owner didn't know, the chefs didn't know, the waiters didn't know. Only Oliver knew, and every day after school, he'd wait on the bench outside his father's workplace. "Dad, when you're done, let's go home," he'd say. "I'll make pasta for you." Laurent would smile, hiding his tears. Because 3 years ago, his wife Emily had told him, "You should love our family more than you love cooking." Laurent hadn't listened, and when Emily died of cancer, Laurent stopped cooking. Never again. But today, the restaurant was in danger of closing. The chef was sick. The Michelin critic was coming. And Oliver, looking through the window, said, "Dad, you can do it." Laurent looked at the soap in his hands, then at the stove, and he had to make a choice. But nobody knew that Laurent's choice would save not just a restaurant, but his own soul. Laurent Dubois' story began with a brilliant start. He was born in Lyon, the heart of French cuisine. His father ran a small bistro, ordinary, not touristy, just a local spot. His mother cooked at home every evening. When Laurent was 6 years old, he made his first omelette at his father's bistro. Simple, plain, but the taste was perfect. "This boy is a born chef," his father said, filled with pride. As Laurent grew, the kitchen became his world. Instead of high school, he went to culinary school. He was accepted to the Paul Bocuse Institute, France's most prestigious culinary academy. At 22, he started as an intern at Le Palais restaurant in Paris, 2 Michelin stars. Chef Daniel Moreau was a legendary figure, tough, demanding perfectionist. "Dubois," he'd said one day, "you're a good chef, but if you want to be a great chef, cooking must be more important to you than breathing. Understand?" Laurent understood, perhaps too well. At 27, Laurent opened his own restaurant, Le Rêve, the dream, small, 20 tables, but every detail was perfect. The first year, Michelin awarded 1 star, the second year, 2 stars. The third year, Laurent was only 30, 3 stars. The world's youngest 3 Michelin-starred chef. The press exploded. Child prodigy. The future of French cuisine. Laurent Dubois, master of the new generation. Laurent was happy, successful, famous, but he was missing something. Emily. Laurent and Emily met at culinary school. Emily wasn't a student, she was a dietitian consultant visiting the school. She was giving a seminar on healthy cooking. The first time Laurent saw her, he fell in love with Emily's smile. Warm, genuine, like sunshine. "You're the most talented chef here," Emily had told Laurent after the seminar. "But you also look the most unhappy." "Why?" Laurent was surprised. "I'm not unhappy, just busy." "Busy isn't happy," Emily laughed. "Does cooking make you joyful?" Laurent thought about it, then answered honestly, "I don't know, it's become more like a goal now, not like happiness." Emily handed him a business card. "Then have dinner with me, not for a goal, for happiness." Laurent accepted. That dinner changed Laurent's life. Talking with Emily, not just about food, but about life, reminded Laurent of something he'd forgotten: humanity. While spending hours in the kitchen, Laurent would focus on perfecting dishes, but Emily told him, food isn't just about flavor, it's about sharing, being together, love. A year later, they married. Emily helped Laurent open his Le Rêve restaurant. She designed the menu with healthy balances. While Laurent cooked in the kitchen, Emily welcomed customers in the dining room. When they received their first Michelin star, Laurent took the stage, accepted the plaque, and dedicated his first words to Emily. Without Emily, this dream wouldn't be real. Emily applauded. She was filled with pride. But in the following years, something changed. Laurent began working more, for the second star, then for the third. Every day he was in the kitchen, at 6 a.m., home at 1 a.m. Emily ate dinner alone, slept alone. "Laurent," she'd said one evening, "you're not with me anymore. Not just physically, mentally. I'm talking to you, and you're thinking about recipes." Laurent apologized. "Just the third star is so close, Emily. Be patient a little longer." Emily was patient, and Laurent earned the third star. But by then, Emily had learned she was pregnant. "Laurent, we're having a baby," Emily had said, showing him the test result. Laurent was happy, but also scared. "A baby, that means more responsibility. How will I manage the restaurant?" Emily's smile faded. "The restaurant? Laurent, this is our baby, your son." I know, Laurent had quickly embraced her. Of course our son is the priority. I'm just busy for a while longer, then everything will go back to normal. But everything didn't go back to normal. When Oliver was born, Laurent was in the kitchen. An important food critic was coming. Emily, I'm sorry, but this guy is from the New York Times. I can't leave. Emily gave birth alone. Her mother was there, but Laurent wasn't. That night, when Laurent returned to the hospital at 2 a.m., Emily was asleep, Oliver in the crib. Laurent kissed his baby, but only stayed 5 minutes. I'm tired. I'll come in the morning. He didn't come in the morning. He was preparing a new menu in the kitchen. And so it continued. Oliver turned 1. Laurent missed his first steps. He was testing a new dessert in the kitchen. Oliver turned 2. Laurent didn't hear his first words. He was at a food fair. Emily endured silently. But Laurent didn't see, because Laurent only saw one thing: Michelin stars. And that's when Emily got sick. The first symptoms seemed ordinary: fatigue, headaches, nausea, just the flu, Emily had said. It'll pass. But it didn't pass. 2 weeks later, the doctor told Emily, "We need to run tests." The tests showed cancer, ovarian cancer, stage 3. Laurent's world collapsed. No, this isn't possible. Emily's young, healthy. How? The doctor explained. Genetics, chance, bad luck. There's treatment, the doctor said. Chemotherapy, surgery. You have a chance. Emily started treatment. Laurent, in the first week, was at the hospital every day by Emily's side, holding her hand. You're strong. You'll beat this. But in the second week, a problem arose at the restaurant. The head chef resigned. Laurent had to leave. Emily, I'm sorry. One day, just one day. Then I'll be back. One day turned into a week. Emily would go to chemotherapy alone. Her mother sometimes came. But Laurent was in the kitchen. One evening, Emily called Laurent. Her voice was weak. Laurent, today was really bad. Vomiting, my hair falling out. I need you here. Laurent looked at his calendar. Emily, today a Michelin inspector is coming. Anonymous, we don't know who, but I have to be there. I'll come tomorrow. Promise. Emily didn't answer. She just hung up. Laurent went to the hospital the next day. Emily wouldn't look at him. Emily, I'm sorry. Laurent, Emily's voice was cold. I'm dying. You're thinking about Michelin stars. No, you're not dying. Treatment might work, might not. But one thing is certain, you're not here. Oliver's not here. Because your only priority is that damn restaurant. Laurent cried. Emily, please, I'm an idiot, but I'll change, I promise. Emily shook her head. It's too late, Laurent. I love you, but you love cooking more. Laurent didn't know what to say. Emily continued. It's not too late for Oliver. Laurent, if I die, and I probably will, be a father to Oliver. A real father. Not the restaurant. Not Michelin stars. Just Oliver. You won't die. Laurent, Emily looked into his eyes. Promise me. For Oliver. Stop cooking. Be his father. Laurent, with a choked voice, said, I promise. But Laurent didn't keep his promise. The next month, Emily's condition worsened. The cancer had spread. Doctors said, there's very little we can do now. Emily spent her last days in the hospital. Laurent came every day, but only for an hour. Then he'd return to the kitchen. On Emily's last day, Laurent was there. Oliver too. He was 5 years old, holding his mother's hand. Mama, why are you sleeping? Emily had smiled. Weak. Just tired, sweetheart. But I love you. Don't forget. Oliver cried. Emily looked at Laurent. You promised. Be a father to Oliver. I promised. Laurent repeated. Emily closed her eyes and never opened them again. Emily's funeral was in Paris, with her family. Small, quiet, only 30 people. Laurent couldn't speak. He just sat, Oliver in his lap, and cried. Emily's mother Marie looked at Laurent with anger. You killed her. Laurent was shocked. I what? Stress, loneliness. You were never there. Emily was alone. Cancer ate her. But you ate her too, Laurent, with your restaurant. Laurent couldn't answer, because Marie was right. After the funeral, Laurent returned to Le Rêve. The restaurant was open. Customers were eating. Chefs were working in the kitchen. Laurent went to the stove. He prepared a plate, Michelin level, perfect presentation. Then he looked at the plate and threw it on the floor. Close it, he shouted. Close the restaurant. The chefs were shocked. Boss, what? I'm closing it. Laurent screamed. It's over. Everything's over. Laurent, that night, closed the restaurant. Returned the Michelin stars. I don't want them anymore. He fired the staff, sold the equipment, transferred the restaurant to someone else, and took Oliver and moved to New York. Fresh start, he told himself, for Oliver, out of respect for Emily's memory. But in New York, Laurent didn't know what to do. He could apply for chef positions, but he didn't. I'll never cook again. He remembered Emily's words. Stop cooking. Be a father to Oliver. Laurent found a humble job at La Lumiere restaurant. Dishwasher. Humble. Invisible. Nobody knew who Laurent was, and Laurent wanted it that way. He wanted to hide because Chef Laurent Dubois had died. Now there was only Father Laurent for Oliver. 3 years passed. Laurent followed the same routine every day. At 7 a.m., he dropped Oliver at school. At 8, he started work at La Lumiere. At lunch break, he went to Oliver's school. They ate sandwiches together. At 6 p.m., he left work, picked up Oliver from school, went home. Oliver was happy. "Dad, you're the best father. You spend time with me every day." Laurent would smile. "Of course, Oliver. You're everything." But some nights, Laurent would look at the stove. He'd miss cooking. His hands would itch to prepare a plate, to make a sauce, to create a dessert. Then he'd remember Emily, stop cooking, and he'd turn off the stove. But today, everything was going to change. Tuesday morning, panic in the La Lumiere kitchen. Chef Antoine had been rushed to the hospital with a high fever, flu, maybe pneumonia. Owner Elena Russo, 40 years old, tough but fair, looked at the 20 employees in the kitchen. "Chef Antoine needs at least a week of rest," she said. "But tonight the Michelin inspector is coming." The kitchen froze. Michelin inspector, annual evaluation. La Lumiere currently had 2 Michelin stars, but if tonight's food was bad, 1 star could go, maybe none would remain. And losing a Michelin star, restaurant reputation destroyed, reservations cancelled, 20 people unemployed. "Backup chef?" asked sous chef Marcel. Elena shook her head. "Jean-Luc is working at another restaurant, can't come tonight. Marie's in the hospital. Pierre's in Japan." Silence. "Marcel, I could try, but I'm not Michelin level, not as good as Chef Antoine." Elena thought. "We have no other choice. Marcel, you'll do it." Marcel was sweating. "Okay, I'll do my best." But everyone in the kitchen knew Marcel's skills wouldn't be enough. The Michelin critic was demanding. Perfectionist. One mistake. Lost star. Laurent, in the dish room, was listening. He was worried, because if Laurent closed, Laurent would lose his job, and he needed flexible hours to care for Oliver. Finding another job would be hard, but more importantly, Laurent loved these people. Elena was a good boss. Marcel was a hard-working chef. The waiters, dishwashers, everyone was like family. He didn't want to lose them, but what could he do? He was just a dishwasher, wasn't he? When lunch break came, Laurent went outside. Oliver, as always, sat on the bench in front of the restaurant, school bag beside him, eating a sandwich. "Dad!" Oliver ran and hugged him. Laurent picked him up. "Hello, son. How was school?" "Good. I got 100 on my math test." "Well done." Laurent smiled with pride. "Smart boy." Oliver looked at Laurent's face. "Dad, you look sad. Is something wrong?" Laurent hesitated. "No, just some stress at work. But it's not important." "About the restaurant?" "Yes, but don't worry. Everything will be fine," Oliver thought. Then, "Dad, do you know how to cook? Maybe you could help?" Laurent froze. I'm a dishwasher, Oliver. I don't cook, but you used to. Mama told me. You were a really good chef." Laurent's heart tightened. Emily. Of course she'd told Oliver. Oliver. "Yes, I used to cook, but I don't anymore, because taking care of you is more important." Oliver nodded. "I know, Dad, and I love you, but maybe you could cook just once more, to save the restaurant? Then you come home with me, okay?" Laurent wiped his eyes. "Oliver, you're such a good boy. You're the best dad." Oliver smiled. Laurent kissed him. "I'll think about it. Now go back to school. I'll see you this afternoon." Oliver ran off. Laurent watched him and heard Emily's voice. It's not too late for Oliver. Maybe Emily was right. Maybe cooking once more wasn't betraying Emily. Maybe it was a way to show Oliver he was his father. Laurent returned to the kitchen. Marcel was preparing the menu. Drenched in sweat, hands trembling. "Pan-seared duck breast," he was muttering. "Port wine sauce, potato gratin, asparagus." Laurent looked at him. Marcel was a good chef, but not Michelin level, especially not under this pressure. Laurent went to Elena's office, knocked on the door. "Come in," Elena said. Laurent entered. Elena sat at her desk, head in her hands. "Laurent," Elena was surprised. "Is something wrong?" Laurent took a deep breath. "Miss Russo, I can help." Elena frowned. "Help? How? Tonight? By cooking." Elena laughed. But it was a bitter laugh. "Laurent, you're a dishwasher. You don't know how to cook." "I do," Laurent cut her off. I used to be a chef. In Paris, at Le Rêve restaurant." Elena's laughter stopped. "Le Rêve? That famous restaurant? 3 Michelin stars?" "Yes." Elena looked at him. You're joking." Laurent pulled out an old photo from his pocket. Himself in a white chef's uniform, standing in front of Michelin plaques. Young, proud. Elena looked at the photo, then at Laurent, then Then back at the photo. Is this real? Yes, I'm Laurent Dubois. I earned 3 Michelin stars at age 30, the youngest in the world. Elena couldn't breathe. Then why are you here washing dishes? Laurent closed his eyes. Because my wife died, Emily, from cancer. And I wasn't a good husband to her, because I only cared about cooking. When she died, I stopped cooking. For Oliver, my son, to be a father. Emily made me promise, stop cooking, be a father to him. Elena's eyes filled with tears. Laurent, I didn't know. Nobody knows, and I haven't cooked in 3 years. But today, this restaurant is in danger of closing. 20 people will lose their jobs. The father Oliver's waiting for will be unemployed too. Laurent looked at her. I can do it once more. Tonight, for the Michelin Critic. Then I'll go back to dishes. But I need to finish at 6. I have to pick up Oliver. Elena held Laurent's hands. Laurent, if this is real, you can save this restaurant, please. Help. Laurent nodded. I'll help. For Oliver, for Emily, and for you. Laurent took off his dishwasher's apron. Elena gave him a white chef's apron. Laurent didn't put it on, just held it, looked at it. It had been 3 years. 3 years since Laurent had cooked in a kitchen. Did his hands remember? Did his mind remember? Laurent entered the kitchen. Chefs and waiters looked at him. They were surprised. This is Laurent, Elena said. Tonight he'll cook. Marcel frowned. Boss, but he's a dishwasher. Marcel, Elena cut him off. Laurent used to be a 3 Michelin-starred chef. In Paris, one of the best. The kitchen froze. A waiter whispered. Really? Elena nodded. Yes, and today, he's going to save this restaurant. Laurent approached the stove, touched it. It was cold. He turned on the flame. Fire rose. And in that moment, Laurent's hands remembered. Muscle memory. Holding a knife, tossing a pan, whisking a sauce. But not just his hands, his soul remembered too. The joy of cooking. Laurent closed his eyes. Emily, forgive me, but today, one last time, I'll be a chef. Laurent designed the menu. 5 courses for the Michelin Critic. Amuse-bouche, fresh thyme goat cheese tartlet, honey and walnut, starter, trout gravlax, lemon cream, radish, main course, pan-seared duck breast, cherry port wine sauce, potato milfaux, cheese plate, French cheeses, grapes, walnut paste, dessert, lavender creme brulee, raspberry coulis. Laurent wrote out the menu. Elena read it. Her eyes widened. This is Michelin level. Perfect. Just the menu, Laurent said. The real challenge is preparing it. Laurent began giving instructions to the kitchen. Marcel, as sous chef, assisted. Marcel, you prepare the potato milfaux. Thin, very thin slices, 2 millimeters, butter between layers, oven at 80 degrees, 40 minutes. Understood, chef. Sophie, you prepare the ducks, score the skin, salt, let rest 20 minutes, then sear. Yes, chef. Pierre, you make lemon cream, 3 egg yolks, 50 ml lemon juice, 100 grams sugar, whisk constantly, don't let it burn. Got it, chef. Laurent walked through the kitchen, checking everything, smelling, tasting, correcting, more salt, less heat, whisk faster. The kitchen fell into Laurent's rhythm. Everyone synchronized, like a perfect orchestra. 7 p.m. came. The first customer arrived. 7:30, the restaurant was half full. 8 p.m., the Michelin Critic arrived. Elena immediately recognized the Michelin Critic, Madame Claudette Beaumont, 60 years old, French, elegant, cold. She was one of Michelin's toughest critics. She forgave no mistakes. Claudette sat alone at a table, took the menu, read it, raised an eyebrow. Interesting, she said to herself. New chef? A waiter came. Madam, we have a special menu this evening. I see, Claudette said in a cold voice. Let's begin. In the kitchen, Laurent prepared the first plate. Amuse-bouche, goat cheese tartlet, golden brown toasted, fresh thyme on top, honey drops, caramelized walnuts. Laurent looked at the plate. Presentation was perfect, but was it enough? The waiter took the plate to Claudette. Claudette picked up her fork, cut a piece, smelled it, put it in her mouth, chewed, swallowed, and nothing. Her expression didn't change. She wrote a note. Laurent couldn't see from the kitchen, but instinctively he knew. First test passed, but this was just the beginning. Second plate, trout gravlax. Laurent had prepared the fish himself. It had been cured in a salt, sugar, and dill mixture for 24 hours. Then he'd sliced it paper thin. The lemon cream was perfect. The radish slices were as thin as paper. The plate went to Claudette. Claudette took a piece, smelled it, put it in her mouth. This time a small nod of the head. Approval. Laurent breathed easier. But the hard part was coming. The main course. It was 8:45. Laurent was searing the ducks, the skin crisp and crackling. Inside pink, perfect medium rare. He was reducing the port wine sauce, had added cherries. Then the door opened. Oliver walked in. Dad? Laurent turned. Oliver was there. School bag on his back. Eyes curious. Oliver, what are you doing here? It's 6 o'clock, Dad. You didn't come get me, so I walked here. Laurent panicked. 6 o'clock? How had he forgotten? Oliver, I'm sorry. It's okay, Dad. Oliver smiled. You're cooking, just like Mama said. Laurent knelt down to Oliver's level. Yes, son. Today I'm cooking to save the restaurant, but then we'll go home. Okay? Oliver nodded. Okay. Can I watch? Laurent hesitated. Then yes, but be quiet. Okay? Oliver sat in a corner, watched his father, and Laurent, in his son's eyes, saw Emily. Laurent focused. He sliced the duck breast, 5 pieces, perfect thickness, arranged them on the plate, poured the port wine sauce, added the potato millefeuille on the side, placed the asparagus. The presentation was a work of art. The waiter took the plate to Claudette. Claudette looked at the plate, looked for a long time, then picked up her knife, cut a slice, tested the sauce, took a piece of duck, put it in her mouth, chewed, and this time, Claudette closed her eyes, took a deep breath, looked at the plate again, and a small smile appeared. In the kitchen, Laurent was waiting. Elena ran in. Laurent, Claudette, she finished the plate. Every bite, and she smiled. Laurent breathed easier. Really? Yes, just cheese and dessert left, but the main course was perfect. Laurent looked at Oliver. Oliver stood up and clapped. Dad, you're amazing. Laurent laughed. For the first time in 3 years, he was laughing in a kitchen. Last plate, lavender creme brulee. Laurent made it perfectly. The top was caramelized. When cracked, the creamy texture inside was soft, raspberry coulis on the side. Claudette received the plate. She took her spoon and cracked the top, dipped inside, tasted, and closed her eyes again. This time, she wrote a note, a long note, then stood up, called the waiter. I want to see the chef. Elena ran to Laurent in panic. Claudette wants to see the chef. Laurent's heart pounded. What? Why? I don't know. Maybe there's a problem. Laurent looked at the chef's apron in his hands. After 3 years, he was about to face a Michelin critic. Was he ready? Oliver came over. Dad, you're amazing. Don't be scared. Laurent looked at his son, then took a deep breath. Okay, I'm going. Laurent walked to the dining room. Claudette sat at her table. Laurent approached her. Madame Beaumont, good evening. I'm tonight's chef. Claudette looked at him, studied him for a long time. Who are you? Laurent Dubois. Claudette raised an eyebrow. Laurent Dubois? From Le Rave? Yes. Claudette stood up. You were dead. Everyone said so. 3 years ago, you closed your restaurant and disappeared. I didn't die, Laurent said quietly. I just got lost. My wife died, Emily, and I stopped cooking. Claudette's face softened. I'm sorry. Thank you. Claudette looked at him. But tonight you returned. And your dishes, Laurent, they were magnificent. Just like I remembered from Paris. Maybe even better, because this time, there was something in your food, an emotion, a love. Laurent's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, madam. No thank you. Claudette smiled. Tonight, Laurent earned its 3rd star. Laurent couldn't breathe. What did you say? 3rd star. With my recommendation, the Michelin committee will approve it. Elena, in the background, screamed. The kitchen applauded. Laurent just cried. Before Claudette left, she asked Laurent, why are you working here as a dishwasher? You're one of the world's best chefs. Laurent looked through the window at Oliver. His son waved at him. Because I'm not a chef anymore, madam. I'm a father, and my son is worth more than any Michelin star. Claudette nodded. You can be both a chef and a father, Laurent. Maybe. Laurent smiled, but father comes first. The next day, Elena called Laurent to her office. Laurent, your performance last night was incredible. You saved this restaurant. I just helped. No, Elena insisted. You created a miracle. And I want to make you an offer. Laurent waited. Be head chef of La Lumiere. Chef Antoine wants to retire. You take his place. Laurent paused. I don't know. High salary, flexible hours. You can spend time with Oliver. And you'll run a 3 Michelin-starred restaurant. Laurent thought, then asked, what would the hours be? You decide. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. so you can pick up Oliver? Laurent nodded. Then I accept. But with one condition. What is it? Oliver always comes first. If he's sick, I don't come to work. If there's a school event, I'm there. Understood? Elena smiled. Understood. You're not just a chef, Laurent. You're a father, and that makes you a better chef. When Laurent got home that day, Oliver ran and hugged him. Dad, are you a real chef now? Yes, son, but only part-time, because you're my full-time job. Oliver laughed. That night, Laurent and Oliver cooked together. A simple omelet with cheese, tomatoes. Oliver, Dad, you make the best food. Laurent, no, son, you're the best companion. After dinner, Oliver drew a picture, Laurent and himself, in the kitchen, holding hands. Look, Dad, you and me. Laurent looked at the picture, his eyes filled with tears. Perfect, Oliver, I'll keep this. That night, as Laurent went to bed, he whispered to Emily, Emily, I kept my promise. I was a father to Oliver, but today I learned that I can be both a father and a chef. Are you watching? I hope you're proud. Oliver is growing, strong, happy, just like you wanted, and I'm not running anymore. I'm not afraid of cooking, because I know now. Cooking is love. Cooking for my family is caring for them. And every day, I'll cook for Oliver, just like you did for me. Laurent closed his eyes, and for the first time in 3 years, he slept in peace. Laurent officially received 3 Michelin stars. It became one of New York's most prestigious restaurants. Laurent started work every day at 9 a.m., left at 3 p.m., picked up Oliver from school. In the evenings, at home, he cooked with Oliver. Laurent taught Oliver basic cooking skills. Look, son, cut the carrot like this, fingers curved, safe. Oliver watched carefully, then tried. Dad, I'm going to be a chef too. Laurent laughed. Maybe, but first be a good person, then a chef. Oliver nodded. Just like you, Dad. One Saturday, Laurent and Oliver visited Emily's grave. They left flowers. Laurent touched Emily's headstone. Emily, Oliver would make you proud. He's strong, kind, smart, just like you. And I'm not just washing dishes anymore. He laughed. I'm a chef again, but this time with the right priorities. Oliver first, always. Oliver left a drawing at his mother's grave. Laurent, Emily, and Oliver, 3 figures, holding hands. Mama, I love you, and Dad is so happy now. Are you happy too? Laurent touched Oliver's shoulder. Of course she's happy, son. She's always watching over us. Oliver smiled. One day, at La Lumiere, a special customer came, Claudette Beaumont. But this time, she wasn't alone. Next to her was a young woman. My daughter, Sophie. She wants to be a chef too. Laurent met Sophie. The kitchen is a tough place, but if you do it with passion, you'll overcome every challenge. Sophie smiled. How did you do it? Being both chef and father? Laurent thought. I got my priorities right. Family first, career second. But the two can coexist. You just need to find the balance. Sophie nodded. Thank you, Chef Dubois. Laurent laughed. Not Chef Dubois, just Laurent, and a father. That evening, as Laurent and Oliver walked home, Oliver asked, Dad, do you regret it, losing the Michelin stars? Laurent stopped, looked at Oliver. No, son, because I gained you, and you shine brighter than any star. Oliver hugged him. You're the best dad. You're the best son. And that day, Laurent Dubois understood. Success wasn't in Michelin stars. Success was in his son's smile, in Emily's memory, and in being able to cook for his loved ones every day. Laurent was no longer just a chef. He was a father, a husband in Emily's memory, and a human being, and that was worth more than any award. The end.